And we're going to be using, in my opinion, the best books, which are the ones by Michael McCarthy and Felicity O'Dell. You can see it behind me right now. And so this is the upper intermediate and advanced book, but there is also an advanced book that's slightly harder than this one. So we'll start with this upper intermediate book and we'll have a look at the chapter on appearance today. That's what we're going to study, which is in chapter 33. So we'll scroll down to chapter 33, which is describing people appearance. Now I'll try and make that a little bit bigger because I know that not everybody will be able to see, but I reckon that will do more or less, or maybe I'm going to have to go out a little bit like that. Yeah, we'll have it like that. So I'm going to quickly let out my kitten because he is still in the shed. I don't know if he's going to go out actually. So we can say that somebody has straight hair. Yeah, if they've got straight hair, I think that's all clear, and thin-faced. But we could also say somebody has wavy hair and has a round face. You can also say that somebody has a chubby face, and we can see that word down here. Chubby means that usually we say chubby cheeks. And so when I was a baby, I was told that, or my parents reckoned that I had chubbier cheeks than my brother, who had a much thinner face. So you can have straight hair, you can have wavy hair, you can have curly hair. And this is obviously more than wavy. Wavy is obvious, it's what it sounds like, wavy. And curly is much curlier than wavy. And you could be light-skinned or dark-skinned. Certainly, I think that my skin's getting darker over the summer because I've been out on the sea so much. And so I've caught a lot of the sunshine and I've got a bit of a suntan. You can also have a crew cut, which is, I suppose, what I have. But I must admit, I don't often use this word myself to describe hair. I would just say that somebody has a short haircut, very short haircut, if it's as short as mine. But of course, I let mine grow longer each time and then cut it when it starts to go out like that on my ears, when it starts to create wings. So bald means no hair at all. If you call somebody bald, that means they've got no hair whatsoever. And freckles are those pretty things that come onto that appear on your face in spring usually. And they're like little dots. When the sun starts shining, you see them on your skin, on your cheeks. And not everybody gets them. I actually think they're very pretty. But yeah, freckles, you get them around here. And of course, I actually get freckles sometimes on my shoulders, just when I get sunburn. Quite often I get a few freckles there. Okay, we say beard and moustache for facial hair. Yeah, here is your beard, and it's pronounced beard. Yeah, just like beer. Yeah, beard. If you're not saying it, if it doesn't sound like beer when you say it, you're probably saying it wrong. I've heard baird before. That's certainly not right. And I've heard some other variations, some other options. But I do prefer beard, which is how we say it. Beard and moustache. And yeah, chubby cheeks, we very often say. So you can talk about somebody having receding hair, which receding means going backwards. So if you say that the oceans are receding, which some people claim, that means that they're going, the sea's moving away from the land, and there's more and more and more land. Here, his hair is receding, so he's going balder and balder. The hair's getting further back and further back and further back. And he's got a few wrinkles. Wrinkles are what you get when you go older and older. So I have quite a few wrinkles up here on my forehead. So yeah, as you get older, you get wrinkles, of course. You can have black hair, but grey hair or white hair. Yeah, all of this is possible. You can talk about blonde hair, fair hair, dark hair, ginger hair, red hair, auburn hair, which is like red-brown. And you can certainly use fair for hair or skin. Yeah, you can say fair-haired, fair-skinned, dark-haired, dark-skinned. Height and build, a rather plump or stout man. So plump means a little bit fat, really, a little bit overweight, a little bit, quite a big waist, yeah, if you're plump. So I wouldn't necessarily call somebody plump, not if you don't want to offend them. If you don't want to offend them, I wouldn't call them plump, just because it does have, in my opinion, a slightly negative connotation. It sounds like a little bit fat. Slim woman, it sounds quite positive. Slim sounds like thin and attractive. It does have that idea of attractive as well. And obese is a polite way, I suppose, of saying very fat. Well, I mean, I think it's never polite to say very fat, so I wouldn't say obese is polite, but it's certainly a more formal way of saying overweight. So fat may sound impolite. Instead, we say a bit overweight. If somebody is broad and solid, then they are stocky. This was my dad, actually. My dad was very broad-shouldered and very thick, barrel-chested, I would say. So I would call him stocky. He was certainly strong. If you're well-built or muscular, you've got strong muscles. And if you're terribly thin, okay, then that's a mental disease and you've got anorexia. You're not eating properly. Okay, if you are smart, in British English, it does not mean clever, or very few people in the UK use smart to mean clever. Smart means well-dressed. Yeah, if you say, oh, you look smart, it means you've got, that person's got maybe a tie on, or a suit on, or maybe an evening dress if it's a girl. I suppose usually we say elegant for girls, yeah. You usually say smart if you're talking about a business suit or something like that, but elegant if you're talking about an evening dress. Yeah, they are different, really, smart and elegant. Well-dressed is, yeah, dressed very well, just like it sounds. And scruffy is, I think I'm actually a little bit scruffy. It just means your hair's, well, scruffy means you're a little bit untidy. Yeah, it doesn't sound like really untidy, but it does sound like a little bit untidy. So you could say untidy looking. So scruffy is the opposite of smart, yeah? We say good looking for both men and women, but remember we say handsome for men and beautiful or pretty for women. Unattractive works for both, again. And first impression, I think first impressions matter most. Well, yeah, I suppose that's true. And it also tells you about the suffix ish, which is a useful bit of information. It means, you know, you can use this with a lot of different words. You can say, let's meet at 6-ish. And it means about 6 o'clock, around 6 o'clock, approximately 6 o'clock. If you say she's tallish, it means she's quite tall. If you say he has brownish hair, it means his hair is quite brown. If you say he must be 30-ish, it means he must be around the age of 30. So that ish is very, very useful indeed. Okay, let's see if anybody's turned up. Okay, there's a few people here. Good morning, Sergei Volchenkov. Good morning, Cheyenne. Good morning, Garnia. Good morning, Amit. And good morning, Tao Nguyen. Hair can be unkempt. Very good point. Yeah, you can say his hair is unkempt. Is mine unkempt this morning? Usually is. And you can say that somebody looks unkempt. And if their appearance is unkempt, it's scruffy. But I want to make it clear that unkempt is a little bit more formal than scruffy, which is a very informal word. And you hear it very often. Okay, so let's go on to the second book that we're going to look at. And perhaps I'll put this exercise up on my website, but I do encourage you to go and buy these books. These books are excellent books. So this is the Advanced Phrasal Verbs in Use. It looks like, Advanced English Vocabulary in Use. They do an Advanced Phrasal Verbs in Use as well, the same two writers who are excellent. They do excellent vocabulary books, and that's why we're using them. So let's have a look at, okay, appearance and mannerisms. I don't really want to go on to mannerisms today, so I might not do D, but let's do the appearance ones. So scrawny. Scrawny means unattractively thin, and bony, skinny. Yeah, you can say skinny, bony, scrawny. All of these work here for unattractively thin. Now, if you say lanky, it means very tall and thin, and usually moving awkwardly. That's a very good point. It does. It means you have clumsy movements. Maybe you knock things over all the time. Maybe you trip up all the time. And if you're very tall and thin, you might call that person you might call yourself lanky. Now, if you've got gangling or gangly arms and legs, that sounds like very long, thin arms. I suppose I've got gangly arms and legs because my legs and arms are very long and thin. It's true. I'm not muscly and I'm certainly not overweight. And so I think people would usually call me scrawny, skinny, bony with gangly arms and legs. Yeah. So these are very appropriate for me. I don't think I move awkwardly, so I don't know if I'd call myself lanky, and I'm not very tall. I'm only about 180 centimeters, so pretty average. Portly means a fat stomach and chest. often used about older men, yeah, when they just kind of start to get bigger and bigger and bigger here. I can think of a friend of mine who's become rather portly recently in the last year. So stout means quite fat, but with a solid body, used of men and women. Yeah, so fat and solid. And corpulent is an old literary word for fat, okay? But we can also say that somebody has a double chin. And you know, this is where somebody gets another chin right about here. Yeah, that's called a double chin. I hope I haven't got a double chin yet, but I suppose everybody, as they get older, their skin gets looser and we all get slightly more and more a double chin. So unkempt hair, yep, look, we just had it. Unkempt hair, untidy, scruffy hair. My hair's quite scruffy. You could say that somebody never has a hair out of place, and that means that they're always really neat and tidy. You know, in their appearance, they never have a hair out of place. You can also say that somebody's rather swarthy, and this is when somebody's dark-skinned, and I would say that this is a very negative word, swarthy. It sounds to me like a little bit criminal as well, like a criminal complexion. So it looks a bit of a criminal. It's a negative word. It's quite an old-fashioned word as well. His sister's complexion is more sallow. This is rare, but it means yellowish and unhealthy, a sallow complexion. You can also say that somebody looks haggard, and this is when somebody has a tired face, especially with age, with the skin hanging in folds, so lots of wrinkles on a haggard face. Okay, if a model pouts, this means position your lips in a sexually attractive way. Yeah, so maybe, yeah, something like that. I'm not going to pout for you, unfortunately. And if she doesn't get what she wants, she pouts for the rest of the day. So pouts can mean to try to look attractive, yeah, but it has a second meaning where it means that you look annoyed. A weird thing, English, yeah, where it can have two different meanings and almost completely opposite, yeah. One where you're looking for a partner, maybe, and so you're trying to make yourself look attractive, and the other one where you position your lips in a look of annoyance because you are annoyed, yeah. So pout can mean look annoyed or try to attract somebody from the opposite sex. If you grimace, it means you do this. Yeah, we all grimace sometimes, and I think if you see or smell something that you really dislike, then you grimace. Yeah, if you see or smell or hear something that you really dislike, you grimace. And if you scowl at someone, you give them an angry look. It's like glare at someone. Yeah, remember, glare at somebody. I've done ways of looking on another video, guys, so please compare it with that video with that vocabulary. But I don't think I included scowl at, but it's like glare at because it's an angry stare. If you leer at someone, then you look at somebody in a sexually interested way, but this sounds negative because it sounds like a bunch of drunken guys, you know, shouting and screaming and maybe wolf whistling at some girls who walk past. And so it doesn't sound attractive and it doesn't sound polite, and it sounds almost desperate a little bit when you leer at somebody. So yes, that's certainly a good word as well, and it's in the ways of looking video as well. And we're going to leave mannerisms. I suppose I can very quickly show you them, actually. Shrug your shoulders. It just means like, I don't know. You shrug your shoulders when you don't know, usually. Fold your arms, nice and simple. Cross your legs, yeah, nice and simple, like that. Bite your nails, like that. Pick your nose, like that. Clench your fist, like that. And tap your fingers is, yeah, like that. So that's a nice, easy one for me to show you. Okay, what else have people said? So Brothers and Sisters in Murphy. Yeah, Murphy's a good book. These aren't Murphy's, though. These are Michael McCarthy and Felicity O'Dell. And I am not sharing any books with everybody here for free. You've got to go and find them yourself if you want to go and share them with people. Yeah, that's what you have to do that yourselves. But if you want to just see a couple of pages so that you can have some kind of idea of what the book is about, then go to my website and I'll leave a couple of pages up there. But really, I encourage you to go and buy these books yourselves because they are good books. But yeah, if you want to copy the PDF, then of course, go out there and do so. It's very easy. But that's up to you, isn't it, really? Okay, so thanks everybody for watching. That's appearance for today. I'll put these exercises on my website in a day or two, maybe the end of today, but I doubt it because I've got a lot of classes today. But yeah, so in a day or two, if you want to find the exercises for these words, then I'll put them on my website, but only those pages, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm advertising these books, and that means that I want you to go and buy them. And before you go and buy their books, of course, you should be buying my book. Yeah, come and buy my book. Here's Grammar in Theory and in Practice. That's got all of my stuff for natives, really. It's aimed at natives more than at TEFL students, but it is aimed at advanced TEFL students as well, because I think that this tells you how to improve your English, a question I get very often. And if you want to improve your phrasal verbs, then come and buy my Visual Phrasal Verbs book. You can buy these on my website in PDF form, and you can buy them from Amazon in physical form. That's how I got them. Yeah, I bought them on Amazon. And so you can find these books very easily. Okay, so thanks everybody for coming, and I appreciate the support, and perhaps a little later I'll do some more vocabulary, maybe more appearance, but phrasal verbs next time. We'll see. Okay, so thanks a lot, guys, and see you all soon.